Hey guys, it is lividfray. Hope you guys are all doing very well today, and welcome back to another episode of Just the Good Stuff, where I show you only the good stuff from the vendor restocks each week. Starting off right here inside the terminal at the special equipment vendor, we have a historian with brutal and cool-headed. You can roll off either talent for whichever build you think this would work really well for. We also have a really good custom P416 for sale here with vicious, deadly, determined. You can either leave all of these rolls exactly how they are and use them with Predator, or you could roll off Vicious for something along the lines of Destructive, and then you have a really good PvE P416. There's also a Tactical Vector here. Has really good rolls if you need a good SMG, especially for PvP. I personally think that this SMG is one of the ugliest SMGs in the game, but it is here if you need a good SMG. The talents work very, very well together. We also have a really good pair of Savage Gloves here for sale. So they already have firearms, critical hit, damage, AR, and enemy armor. You can just roll off enemy armor for critical hit chance if you'd like to for PvP. And finally, we have a 2% pulse critical hit damage mod here for sale. Keep in mind, all of these are Phoenix credits, but all of them are really good if you're looking for something for that. Heading over to the advanced weaponry vendor, we have a decent extended magazine for sale here. A couple percentage off on the max magazine size, but otherwise it has critical hit damage and rate of fire. I ended up buying one of these because I'm on my alternate account. Oh, it looks like I actually bought two of them. I would definitely recommend buying these if you don't have any good extended magazines for within your arsenal. Our next stop is going to be over at the gear vendor. You guys make sure you pick these up. You can see I bought these on this account because I do not have these yet. 4% damage to elite mods on stamina. It is unfortunately under 200, but we can't be too picky. I bought 5 of these just for this character to make sure that I had them. Make sure you guys buy these if you don't have them. We do not get 4% very often. Heading over to Cam Clinton, we have another historian, which actually has prepared and deadly on this. This is perfect for your Deadeye builds, you guys. Make sure you pick this up. It's pretty fun to use. We also have a really good liberator for sale here that has talented, unforgiving, and deadly. You can roll off whichever talent you think would work best for the builds. Keep in mind that the liberator has a similar recoil pattern to the police M4. It's going to have some pretty bad handling. When you're done here, we're going to head over to Wolf's Den. This vendor does have a determined X45 for sale. As you can see with this build, I don't have that unlocked, but if you need something with a little bit lower stat requirements, this works really well. We also have an AUG pair here for sale that has really good talents as well for PvP. Vicious on top, responsive on bottom. You can keep competent or roll it off for something like deadly, and then you have a perfect PvP weapon. Our next stop's going to be over at the Southpaw Safe House. This vendor is going to be selling a stamina mod. Now, I'm going to go over these a little bit later. I'm not going to go into these just yet, but I would recommend buying these. 4% ability resource gain. It's a maxed out ability resource gain mod. I'm going to go into a video in depth on why these are actually really good. But for now, if you have the spare credits, I would just buy them. If you do not want to spend credits on them, do not worry about it. Heading over to the Park Avenue vendor. This vendor is selling an X45 as well with Expert and Cool-Headed already on here. You can just roll Expert off for Brutal if you would like to. We also have an M700 Tactical that already has Elevated and Disciplined. You can just roll Toxic off, or if you want to keep Toxic for a sentry build, that works very, very well. I would definitely recommend buying either one of these weapons if you have the credits. Our next vendor is going to be East 46th Street. East 46th Street vendor is going to be selling a 552 Hollow Sight. I ended up buying this on this character because it does have really, really good rolls. We are 0.5% off of max, but it's very, very rare that you ever find an 8%. So I would definitely recommend buying this one. Our next vendor is going to be the DZ04 Saferoom. This vendor is selling a 4% ballistic shield damage mod. I mean, I just came out with that D3 build if you want to check that out, but this also works very well with the pistol shield sentry build. Our next vendor is going to be West 34th Street. This vendor is selling a 266 stamina on over 3,000 skill power. These work very well for your defense builds if you choose not to have a skill power roll on your gear, or they would work really well with any kind of build where you need to utilize these attributes for. Our next vendor is going to be West 34th Street. We have another tactical for sale here with the exact same rolls, so you can buy either one. You can just roll Predatory off for something else, in this case, if you wanted to keep that. Our next vendor is going to be West 39th Street. This vendor is also selling a First Wave X45. I believe the First Wave has an increased mag size, so this is actually better, but if you wanted to get the other one and utilize Brutal on that instead, that's always a good way to go. Our last vendor is going to be inside the DZ03 Saferoom, and this vendor is actually selling a really good Huntington M44. Prepared is rolled on the bottom, and Brutal is rolled on the top. You can do something else for the middle slot, probably Disciplined, or a Deadly roll. Whatever you're looking for there. This is a really good roll. Visiting the blueprint vendors inside the terminal first. This vendor does have the classic AK-47. This is the only AK variant that you can buy a blueprint for. I would recommend that. Super 90 blueprint is also for sale. I'm wanting to mess with the Super 90s on my main account, so I'll probably be rolling these pretty soon. Firearms backpack for sale for specialized roles. Electronics vest blueprint for rapid or vigorous. We do have the vertical grip here, as well as the small grip red blueprint for your critical hit damage needs. Firearms gear mod and stamina gear mod blueprints are for sale. I always just recommend buying the gear mod blueprints in general because they're really cheap and they're worth it. The next blueprint I'm recommending is this LVOA blueprint at 204 gear score. This is perfect for your tactician builds where you need to utilize those lower talent requirements. This is like the absolute golden ticket, I think, this week. And then finally, we do have the custom M44 blueprint at gear score 182. This is perfect for your tactician or reclaimer builds where you need a little bit of a lower gear score to unlock some talents, but still output a little bit of damage. That's going to be it for the terminal blueprints I'd recommend. I've headed over to Camp Clinton. This one's got the SVD for sale. Definitely recommend buying the SVD blueprint. The M60 blueprint's also here if you want that. The stamina gloves are for sale over here. I mainly recommend the gloves for Savage gloves if you want to roll some Savage gloves. Firearm knee pads are for sale, but I don't really recommend buying that. High velocity magazine is for sale. This is for your critical hit chance mags for Lone Star. We also have the the EXP53 holographic. Electronics gear mod blueprint. We do have the angled grip. This is a power level 33, but this is the highest blueprint that we can obtain. The double barrel sawn-off blueprint is also for sale here. I didn't mention that, but it's a lower gear score, so you could use that to unlock your predatory talents. And then we have the custom M44 blueprint here as well. That's going to wrap it up for this week's Just the Good Stuff episode. Hopefully there's some items here that you guys will be picking up. Would definitely recommend getting for those damage to elite mods and that gear score 204 LVOA. And for those of you who are not aware, I'll be putting out that Global Event Strike content as soon as I possibly can. Global Event Strike is live from today. It did start early this morning until I believe the 24th would be the last day. So make sure you guys hop on and play Global Event Strike until the next global event. I will be putting out that content as soon as I possibly can. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great rest of your day.